dive into this morning. Good morning. Wonderful to be with you. Oh, my my live probably says something different than good morning, St. Pete. Great to see you, man. I owe you a message, I think. Suffice to say, yeah, we'll figure it out. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Janine, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday morning or afternoon, depending on where you're watching on the planet. Fandabidosi to be with you. St. Mary, look at you. Happy Monday. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, bro. Figure it out. Hey, tell me, how was your weekend? Give me a score out of 10. How was your weekend? 1 to 10. Best it could possibly be. How was your weekend? Is my first question to you. How was your weekend? I'm going to talk to you about something this morning that every single one of us does. Every single one of us does this, but as soon as I use the word of what it is, it's going to feel like, I can't get my mouse. Oh, that's why I can't get my mouse over there. It's going to feel like you don't do this, but you do this. I promise you, you do this. So, stay tuned, as the fella says. How was your weekend? Give me a number out of 10. Boom, we got a 7 out of 10. That's not bad. I'll take a 7 out of 10. My son's 24, thank you, St. Pete, was good. So he turned 24 on Friday, but he was working 2.5 hours away. So he did not make it back. So we celebrated him on Saturday, and it was good. But everything's weird right now. I mean, everything's just different, you know? Like, my other son, this is his graduation year. His granny and granddad are supposed to be here. Bless them. Booked 2 tickets. Got cancelled twice. And, are still like, oh, I want to be there. So we had a graduation celebration. Not really, not complete, like a mini one, on the back porch, on the back deck. And, you do the best you can. But everything's different, right? So thanks for asking, though. Yeah, and the truth is, your weekend doesn't just fit into one day, right? There's a Friday, there's a Saturday, there's a Sunday, and score out of 10 could be different for either days, right? So, Janine, I'm glad you ended on the upswing, and so that's good news. But yeah, I would say that I would share that with you. I had a bumpy landing. In one part of the weekend, and then towards the end of the weekend, obviously, we smoothed out the runway. How about that? So we're asking, how was your weekend? We're asking, give us a score out of 10 for how your weekend was, and that's what we're asking. And so I'm going to, so let me know as you go. But I want to talk to you this morning about just a couple of thoughts about selling. Every one of us sells. Every one of us sells. And you may not sell in your job. You may not sell in your, how you manage. I think, I need to mute that. I need to what I need to do is I need to I forgot. Monday morning, first thing Monday morning, already having blank spots. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you about selling because every one of us sells. Either we're trying to have somebody agree with us, see where we're coming from, buy into what we would like to do for that day, that weekend, whatever the case might be, that event. And so, oftentimes, whether it's a professional or whether it's personally, we get responses, and they're not always favorable responses when you want to do what you want to do. So the first thing I want to just say to you is that when you're selling, or when you're communicating, or when you're debating, or when you're trying to get your point across, you are serving. Serving, Kevin. Self-serving, is that what you mean? No, I'm not saying self-serving. Actually, I'm saying that when you are trying to communicate something that is of the best interest for the one that you are talking to, that you are actually serving them. In fact, we could argue that you're actually loving them. Because for them to buy into whatever it is you are selling, whatever it is you're communicating, whatever it is that you are, would be for ultimately for their betterment. So that's first thought. And you know, if you change the word sell to serve, now this is working off of the assumption that it would be better for them, all right? Then that changes the grid, that changes the filter. It changes the filter. And there's something called the reticular activating system in your noggin, in our noggins, that once it's activated, its job is to find evidence to prove correct or incorrect what we're telling it to focus on. So if we're having a conversation and I get a sense that you're not trustworthy, my reticulator activating system in my brain goes on the hunt to look for other tells, other signs, other things to convince me, yep, see, not trustworthy. But if you and I are having a conversation and you feel a sense of trust, you feel a sense of connection, you feel like we resonate, like we're on the same plane to a degree, then your reticular activating system goes on the hunt to find evidence to corroborate your perspective of your filter that is there. For example, have you ever been thinking about getting a new car, even if it's a second-hand car, but it's a particular type of car? Let's just say it's a white Toyota Corolla. They have those in America and in Europe. I know this. Somebody just said, those words are too big for 7 o'clock in the morning. Bless you. You're coming in as unknown. And so, so that is good. Reticular Activating System, or TS. It's just a part of your noggin, which I know you understand, and I know you're laughing because I see a big smiley face there. When you want to buy a white Toyota Corolla, you're thinking about white, or you've just bought one. You drive that out of wherever you bought it from, and it's everywhere. You see white Toyota Corollas everywhere. That's your reticulator activating system is saying. It's heightened in its awareness, and it's helping you see what was there all along. You just weren't paying attention to it before. This is massive, gang. It's massive. Because if you focus on lack, what will you see? You tell me. If you focus on lack in your life, what do you think your reticulator activating system, your RTS in your noggin, is going to go look for? Proof to help you affirm what you've told your head already to focus on. If you focus on lack, you will see lack. If you focus on abundance, and I don't want you to get carried away, right? if you focus on abundance, if you focus on gratitude, if gratitude is your attitude, your mind will tell your eyeballs what to see. What to see. It's wild, gang. It's wild. And so, like, just the first nugget for this morning is, hey, what are you giving your noggin permission to go find evidence to prove true? What are you focusing on? Because what you focus on affects how you feel, which ultimately affects how you function. I am about to just pop this up on the screen because this is just so important. So important. First of all, sales. Whoops. I need to have that be thicker than that. Sales is serving. That's your first thought. Sales is serving. All right? Which is wild, right? But all of us do this. All of us do this. You all sell in one way or the other, in communication, in loving, in leading, in parenting, in romancing, we are all in a position or positions in which when we are reaching out to other people, communicating with them, talking to them, we want them to understand, if only understand what we're saying, but buy in to what we're saying too. If you don't see it as serving, if you don't see selling, communicating, helping others see where you're coming from, convincing them of something that would be good for them, eat your vegetables. We have one of our young adults needing to eat more of those lately. But serving, sales, I also want to say, is a skill. You may say, look, Kev, I'm not a salesperson. That isn't me. First of all, what you do isn't who you are, just as a reminder. Your identity does not come from what you do. So, you can get better. In fact, if you are watching today, if you are listening today, and you think, Kevin, hear me, bro. I am a lousy communicator. I have news for you. I have news for you to start your week. I want you to lean in and hear me. You are a brilliant communicator. Kevin, you said that without a crack of a smile on your face. I'm serious. You're a brilliant communicator. How are you saying that to me, man? You didn't see my weekend. You're a brilliant communicator. The only thing that you're lacking is practice. And maybe some equipping, right? Better ways to do what you're trying to do. I'd probably also say to you that it probably would be a good idea for something in you to die. In fact, for you to get to where you want to go, the old you has to die. It can't continue. You can't continue as you are if you want to get to another level. You have to release you as you are today, because more of you as you are today is only going to get you and me more of what we have today. And if you want more than what you have today, then the old you has to die. Meaning we've got to let go of some things that we are grasping for dear life onto. Meaning we've got to replace some perspectives that we are focusing on like a flint, and replace them with new perspectives that are more life-giving, that are more motivational, that are actually going to have us stop talking about whatever it is and actually take action on it. The old version of us is not going to get us to where we want to go. A new version of you is only going to facilitate you getting there. Does that make sense? Let me know. I haven't lost you completely. Sales is serving, but sales is also a skill. And I want to say this, that when the people in your life are objecting what you have to say to them, and I know my title might say something about geese, I'll have to correct that later. I forgot to change my title from Friday. But if you missed talk about geese on Friday, you better get you some, because, man, they're not my ideas. I mean, that's just how geese live. So you can get some, I think, 5 lessons from geese about life, love, and leadership. Anyway, when a person objects you, it's actually not about you. It's their problem. It's something that their reticular activating system is focused on. You already have the breakthrough. You already have the experience that you want them to have. And so my encouragement to you is stop taking so much stuff personally. Especially when ugly comes from the other person towards you. When ugly comes from the other person, and I'm not talking about their looks, I'm talking about their behavior. When ugly comes from the other person towards you, it's actually about what's going on inside of them. That's huge, gang. Because if you could stop taking so much stuff personally, oh my goodness, you would save yourself a whole heap of heartache. And I don't know about you, but I'm into saving myself and anyone else who wants to travel with me a whole heap of heartache. Geese are legendary. Just for the record. What are you talking about, geese? Go back to Friday's talk and you'll get that. Morning, Jacob. Great to have you, man. God's creation is amazing. Thank you. So that's really big. That's really, really big, man. I wish I'd gotten that one earlier. I'll just tell you that. I wish I'd gotten that earlier. By the way, it's June 1, and you may be saying, Daly, it's June 1 and you're still here. What are you doing? I'm serving. I have nothing to sell to you this morning, but I'm serving you. I'm pouring into you. I don't have freedom to say, we need to cut this off. It started as a intentional way to pour into people during COVID, and it's not over. And it's going to be a while before things get back to a new normal. It won't be the same as before, but we'll forget. And but so many things in our culture, in our psyche will have shifted, and so I'm still here, and so I'm going to continue to saying hello. To pour out as long as I can, right? You can't do everything, right? So we may just have to cut back on the regularity. But anyway, we're talking about sales, and we're saying sales is serving. Big deal for you to have that perspective. Sales is serving. Second thing, and every single one of us do it all the time. And so sales is serving. Second thing is sales is a skill. You can become a better communicator. You can become a better negotiator. You can become a better debater. You can become a better leader in whatever capacity that might be. You're developing yourself, and some things in you might have to die in order for you to get to the next level that you long to get to, but you can't get there holding on for dear life to the very things that have gotten you to where you are today. What's gotten you here will not get you there. And if you are in a sales position, formally, can I just say this to you? That the people that you are serving through sales need your service, your breakthrough, your program, your product more than you need their money. And so it's important for you to hold on to that. Like when you are communicating and you're very needy, like you're trying to force it. And by the way, here's a life principle for you. Whenever it's forced, it's usually flesh, which means independent. You trying to do a solo maverick job on your Todd. It don't work. Say that again. Okay. Whenever you're trying to force something, it's usually flesh. There's only two ways for us to live. Independence on ourselves. Independence, flesh is the word for it, right? I know that's body, bone and flesh, all that stuff. Yes, but it's independent living. And depending on a power greater than you, your maker. Only two ways for us to live. No matter where we are, what faith you have, there's only two ways for us to live. So, when you're forcing something, it's usually an indicator that you are not free. You're not free from the outcome. And and that comes across. That comes across when you're communicating. So I'm suggesting to you that whoever it is you're communicating to needs whatever it is you're trying to sell, if they indeed do, more than you need their finances. Because if they receive what you're communicating, if they buy into that, they will be better for it. Their life will be better for it. Okay. Some people say, look, I don't have the time. An objection. I don't have the time. What do you think they're actually saying? Any ideas? Any guesses? Go ahead and write in the chat. What do you think they're actually saying? I don't have the time. I don't have enough time. I'm going to tell you that they're saying to you, I'm caught in the trap of procrastination. I'm caught in the trap of procrastination. Do you know what the enemy of wealth is? Yeah, so when somebody says I don't have enough time, they're blowing somebody off. Yeah, so that's true, right? We use sometimes time to just keep somebody at arm's length. Or they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to take the time to give you the time, right? And so they're using time as a smoke screen when really it's I'm not interested. But that's a little bit more overt, isn't it? Right? The enemy of wealth is delay. The enemy of wealth is delay. And don't just see wealth as financial wealth. The enemy of wealth is delay. Let me ask you a question. Here's a question for you. How many of you can say amen to this? How many of you, oh, that's another good one, all right? Staying comfortable is another reason why people say, look, I don't have enough time and I'm fine where I am, etc., right? And so I'll come back to that. How many of you, though, have made a decision and it worked out better for you? How many of you have wished, I wish I had decided to do that sooner? How many? Let me know. Let me see a hand. Let me see a thumbs up. Let me see something. How many of you have made a good decision and the only thing that you have in relation to that is, blasted, I wish I had done that before now. Can I get a witness? I'm a coach and a counselor and a speaker. With flaws and all. I see that film, Mary. How many... one of my... I'm waving a flag now, right? Was when Deb and I hired a couples coach for us. First of all, I'll just tell you this. I'll be straight with you. We hired a couples coach and we had some baggage from our past. The coach wasn't able to handle it. We actually need to see a counselor. And the coach wasn't equipped with counseling skills sufficient to deal with our baggage. It was a pretty heavy baggage. So that was not. I mean that, and the coach was awesome. Coach is beautiful, brilliant. But when you here's why I'm differentiating. Coaches are future focused, right? They'll help you with your present. They'll help you get further faster. Coaches, counselors, past focused and present, and sometimes there's some overlap. But for the most part, they're dealing with helping you get rid of excess baggage. They're helping you screw your head on straight as best as they can. Some of us, right? We can only get it screwed on. I'm talking about myself so much, right? I'm not making fun of anybody other than myself, okay? And they're the two significant differences between coaches and counselors. Make sense? So I'm seeing the hands, okay? Well done. And the hands were for how many of you have made decisions in your life who have later said, man, I wish I'd have done that sooner. The enemy of wealth in whatever genre is delay. And there was a famous philanthropist in the 1920s. The 1920s, Kevin, I know. Forget his name. Name's gone from my head. But he philanthropist, another decent word, first thing in the morning, who would gift and invest and donate for the betterment of people, right? When he'd get on the elevator to come down from his penthouse apartment, I guess, his goal would be to say, do it now, 100 times before he reached floor 1, which is ground floor. In Europe and America, it's different. Floor 1 is ground floor. In Europe, ground floor is ground floor. Ground floor in in Europe is first floor in Ireland. In America, I mean. I know, that just changed your world right there. That was valuable information that you will now be able to live the rest of your week a whole lot better off. Okay, so let that go. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. The enemy of wealth is an issue of delay. And sometimes the delay, yes, Peter, is because people want to stay in their comfort zone. Yes, Jacob, because we're trying to hold people at arm's length. Yes, Janine, because we want to say, I'm not really interested, but we want to find a nicer way of saying that. Procrastination is the assassination of your destination. Can I ask somebody to write that down for the betterment of anybody who comes in after you this morning? Procrastination is the assassination of your destination. And procrastination is a really, really, really common coping mechanism for a lot of us to deal with life. Just put it off. Sure, if it can be done tomorrow, Kevin, do it tomorrow. Do it now. DIN. You should have a BTB somewhere on your dashboard of your car, or your bedroom mirror, or what. BTB. Anybody know what BTB means? I'm going to test your memory. Thank you, Jamie. BTB. Procrastination is the assassination of your destination. And procrastination just brings more procrastination. Well done, gang. And you know what? You don't need a boatload more from me today. That will float your boat, not just for the rest of this day. Can you imagine if you shifted? Like if you are someone who struggles with procrastination, can I get some authenticity in the room? Facebook have rooms now, actually. Not the type of rooms that your kids say to you when they're getting older and you show affection to the one you love. Get a room, Dad! Not that type of room, but just kind of conversation rooms. But we may try those out down the road. But for right now, if you struggle with procrastination, has it delayed progress for you? Has it delayed breakthrough for you? Has it delayed income for you? Has it delayed influence for you? Crises in our world and in our lives force us to do some things that we should have done before the crisis came. Believe the best is BTB. You got it right, Janine. Well done. Pete, thanks for that authenticity. You're not the only one, bro. You're looking at one who spent his life, and if I'm not careful, I can so easily shift into that rut today. Put it off. There's a difference between intentional putting stuff off because you've chosen a better priority for right now. That's not procrastination. That's prioritization. That will not assassinate your destination. Can I share this with you? Your inbox in your email is basically other people's priorities trying to grab your attention to work on their priorities. I would encourage you to not wake up and run to your inbox. I would encourage you to wake up and listen to the birds and reflect on what you're grateful for. Because a grateful heart, moving into whatever type of day or week you have, is a whole lot happier heart than one that's focused on anything else. Do it now. 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 I'm just going to say, successful people do not get stuck in analysis paralysis. They gather the data, they make as best an informed decision as they can they don't need 100%. Pareto's law says 80% of what is good that's coming to you is coming from 20% of what you're doing. So find out what that 20% is for you and do that. Do more of that. Unsuccessful people overthink and delay. They make decisions slowly and they change quickly. Successful people gather their data, make a decision, and they change slowly. Do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now, and do not allow procrastination to be the assassination of your destination. And you understand, remember, that your decisions determine your direction, and your direction determines your destination. But you see, if you procrastinate those decisions, you'll never get headed in the direction that ultimately will lead you up in your destination. Gang, that's it. I think 5 minutes ago I said that was it. That's really it. Do it now. Don't let procrastination be the assassination of your destination. And in order for you to get to the next level in your life, you're going to need to let something die. I'm going to need to let something die in me that is holding me back from the abundant life that my big brother named Jesus came to give to me. At 12 o'clock today, I'm going to be talking a bit more about this. And even whether you have no interest more than the man in the moon, successful launch this weekend. Um, you may have no interest in being a life coach. Can I just say to you, you need to be one, even if you don't become one professionally. Everybody needs a coach. Even coaches need coaches. Everybody needs encouragement. Everybody needs a safe person to process with. All of us need equipping of new skills to help us be a better or the best version of us to the people that we're doing life with, professionally and personally. But whether that's with me, or whether that's with somebody else, or whether that's not formally for you, I'm going to encourage you. Join me today. This is, I don't know, I think it's our third webinar. And I'm getting better at each one. And I'm putting new stuff in each one. So if you were there for the first, the third one's the charm where I come from. So you need to go to bit.ly. bit.ly/CL Certified Life C Coach, CLC, capital CLCT, RAINING. bit.ly/CLCT, they're capitals, CLCT are capitals, and then raining, like it does in Ireland or Seattle, RAINING. Hey, if this resonated with you, what do you think I should title this one this morning? Should we title it Procrastination Assassination? Should we title it Do It Now? What do you reckon? Help me title this morning. What resonated so most powerfully in all of the words with you? I'm going to let you title it. So make a suggestion. And I'll, when I press stop here in just a second, we'll repost it as something different. So I'd love to see you at 12 today. And hey, even if you can't, just register and you'll get the replay. The gift that keeps giving, do it now. Any other suggestions? Have a fantastic Monday. Thanks for sharing a few minutes of your morning with me. If you skipped the birds this morning, stick your head out some window. Listen to the birds sing. And be reminded that your Creator said, "Hey kid, if I clothe and feed and provide for these, how much more will I provide for you?" We live in a world of abundance, gang. But if you have a scarcity mindset, all you're going to see is scarcity. You and I do not see reality oftentimes. We only see what our filter is telling us to focus on. Which is why a wonderful prayer is, God, open our eyes and help us see what we need to see, and our ears so that we can hear what we need to hear. And give us a heart to respond in love so that we can live fully and freely and love deeply and lead authentically. Hey, have a fantastic Monday. We start our training program tomorrow, training people how to be a life coach. So I would love for you to jump in on that with me. And but to do that, you got to jump in at 12 first, just to learn a little bit more about it and just glean some nuggets, even if now is not the right time for you, or if this is not for you, or if I'm not for you. God bless you. And we'll see you soon. Okay? Love it. Love it. I'm posting a couple more of these thoughts. Love it. And do me a favor. Share. Oh, I said the word. Sprinkle. Sprinkle. Sprinkle this amongst the ones that you love. And I will look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully at 12 today, Eastern time, which is like 5-ish, 4-ish in Europe, maybe. Um, have a great day. Do it now. Don't let procrastination steal your destination, and decide what you're going to focus on, because you're going to get more of that. I'll say cheerio, and I'll see you tomorrow or at 12 today.